And so, Chet, you said you have the students listening and watching too?
Yeah, so what's happening is that we're in night school. So we have the students, we ask them, at least tune in. You know what I'm saying? So even though you're doing hair, at least tune in on your phones. And as I was watching, waiting to get in, I was watching the students signing in because, of course, I know who they are. So I'm just happy that they were able to do that.
That's
And
awesome.
so are we.
That's awesome. So you have this growth, you have this whole movement that you're, embarking on. Was it CAS? Is that what it's called?
C. Allen Salon Suites is just like helping to empower people, educate, get them started too. Talk all about it.
Absolutely. Well, one, I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for having me on. I thought it was an honor and a privilege when I received the invitation. I follow Mark as well. So, but I love Allison, but I follow Mark also. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I made time to be here. What I'm excited about is I have the opportunity to change the game in the District of Columbia in reference to the beauty industry. I just opened the Sea Island Salon Suites. And let me tell you about it. It's not just like a regular suite situation where people come in and rent chairs and all of that. What I decided to do when I opened up this business, I said, how can I make a difference? DC, probably everywhere, has been hit really hard during the COVID pandemic. Many people had to close their salons and barbershops. A lot of people now, because they started doing mobile grooming, that they decided, hey, I'm not going back into the traditional salons and barbershops. And many of them want to start their own business. So I said, if I'm going to go into a suite situation, I've always been against suites. In my book, My Business, the Beauty Business, I talk down about suites because it really dismantled the traditional barbershop and hair salon, the community
Community.
vibe, and all of
Right.
that. But then I said that, if you can't beat them, join them. But what I would do is I would do something different. So it's an incubator for beauty and barber entrepreneurs. So what I'm doing is we're doing monthly classes on literacy,
Hmm.
financial literacy. We're helping them to start their own 401k plans. We're talking to them about retirement. I'm a hairstylist, a 31-year-old hairstylist, been in the industry 31 years, and I can't do relaxers or anything anymore because of my carpal tunnel.
Mm.
So my thing is, what can we do to help you with multiple streams of income? How to make money when you're sleeping, how to take that craft you have and take it to the next level. So we have on next Sunday at 4 p.m. is the grand opening to the Sea Island Salon Suites. One of the things that I love about this is it was already a salon suites. And those people, uh, there was a transition. They called me, Mark, and they said, we have 31 entrepreneurs. We don't want them to close their businesses, but we have no one to run this facility. We heard so much about you. And it so happened, let me tell y'all, you got to hear this. This is how God operates.
Come on now.
When they first opened, when they was first opening their shopping center, they called me because I had 5 Sea Island salons. And they asked me if I wanted to open up a salon suite. I instantly got excited and said, yes, I wanted to do it. And I know for a fact that God gave me the vision to open up the salon suites. But guess what, y'all? I didn't have the provision. I didn't have means to do it. And when I realized that the mortgage of the rent over 20 some grand, I'm saying to myself, I can't afford to do that. And another suite a company came in. I was a little perplexed because I was like, now I know God told me that was my business, but somebody else came in and went on with it. Here we are 10 years later. God fulfilled his promise, but he did it so amazingly because I went into a place where it was already filled with entrepreneurs. So they have been there the entire time. So what I like to tell our listening audience first is that sometimes God give us the vision, but we have to wait for the provision. We have to wait for the opportunity for us to be able to move in there. But look how God did it. I didn't have to go and look for people. I didn't have to put for rent signs up. I came into a place that was already ready to go. And now we're excited because we're going to east of the river. I'm making history by having the first salon suites in Ward 8. So we're going to Ward 8 next. We're going to in front of Howard University. We're going to Wisconsin Avenue. and we're going to his 5 places. But the most, and then of course the Rhode Island Avenue location. So basically, what we're doing, guys, is we're starting a movement to kind of help our people to take it to the next level. I'm teaching them how to get their own brick and mortar. I'm not asking you to stay in the suites forever, but how do we take it to the next level so you can grow your business? So we're about to come out with hundreds of business owners taking their career to the next level, and I'm excited about it.
So,
Come on, Chet.
Chet, so how do people get involved if they think they're trying to either get in under your wing as far as tutelage goes and try to figure out how to make that move, or if they're already established and trying to figure out how to grow their business? How do they get in touch with you, whether it's Cass or just with you or your
Absolutely.
company?
So, and I thought it was funny when you had mentioned about not to put my email out there. I put my email everywhere, you know. But what we've been doing is we've been telling people to call us at the Bennett Career Institute, which is the 202-526-1400 number, and they can ask for me or they ask for Teresa. And what we want to do is we want to bring them in, because let me tell you what we're also doing. I have a salon at Florida Avenue, and that is a transitional salon. So let's say you're not ready for a suite, but you want to work under our brand so we can help you build your clientele so you can go to a suite. And we're also doing it at 923 U Street, which is my Sea Island men's grooming salon and spa, a luxury salon where the brothers can come and get manicures, pedicures, facials, wax and back wax and haircuts, any kind of grooming service for the brothers. We even have a sauna there. We have showers there, locker room, all of that for the guys, because we want to show people how looking good make you feel better and give you that opportunity to go out there and make it happen. Because let me tell you something, Mark. I did a survey and I asked brothers. I ain't gonna tell you my age. The only thing I'm gonna say is I'll say a little two nickels. Two nickels is my
Double
age.
nickels.
Yeah, I just turned two nickels on August 2nd.
Welcome.
Oh
So I
yes, that's
asked
my dad's
people.
birthday.
Perfect. So he's a wonderful man.
Yes he
So
was.
I asked people, Mark, I asked brothers who was 45 to 55, I asked them, how did you meet other guys? And they was like, we don't do that. They were saying, it's either in a fraternity or in a church or co-workers or your cousins or family members. And I said, you know what? We're going to create something where brothers can network on a professional level, because we still want that barbershop atmosphere. So when you come into the grooming lounge, yes, it's beautiful, chandeliers, all of that, but this is an opportunity for them to network. So we have car service to bring the brothers in. We have supervisors, CEOs, Howard University professors, all of them. They come in and they engage, and we love the fact that they leave out of there feeling empowered, and they do a lot of business deals right there at the 923 location. It's amazing.
That's what we need.
Yes.
I was just thinking, I was somewhere and it was like a country club feel, and I was looking around and I thought, well, to be honest, I would never, even if I had the funds to do it, I would never really join, because when I go, I want to talk to other people who look like me
Yeah,
about things that are important in our community, and also we have the shared background. When I'm in that totally relaxed state. So I love that you're doing that. I think we need more of that, because the more community, the better. I love that. I
absolutely.
really do. Before we let you go, I do want to talk about the C. Allen Foundation, as far as the work that you're doing to raise awareness about, in your case, your health journey
Yeah.
included kidney failure and dialysis and all that. But now you've taken that and you've turned it into helping others educate, empower. Can you just talk about that a little bit? Because I love
Ab-
how different that is than the beauty industry, from radio host, from motivational speaker. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit.
Absolutely. And I definitely appreciate that. In 2017, I was diagnosed with kidney failure. I couldn't believe it. I'm a single CEO traveling the country, multiple businesses, and could not believe that the doctor said you need to go on dialysis immediately. It was unbelievable for me. I was on dialysis for 14 months. When I was sitting in that dialysis chair, I asked God over and over, if you have an opportunity to get me out of this chair, I'm going to live the rest of my life helping people and bringing awareness when it comes to kidney failure. And as soon as I got a kidney, it so happened that my salon manager was a perfect donor, and we went viral. We were all over the place because I actually gave her the salon on Florida Avenue for her giving me a kidney. You know, you
Right.
can't
Wow.
pay people, you can't pay people to give you an organ, but
Yeah.
I wanted to bless her because she has been my mentee for over 20 years, and we had no idea that she would be the one. So what happened, Allison, was, and Mark, I decided that as soon as I got the transplant, it's been 4 years now I've been transplanted, and I said, I'm going to do the C. Allen Foundation where I can bring awareness and help other people. I did not know that it was going to get as large as it did. Once I did that, once I got a kidney, I couldn't, my eating habits had changed drastically. I couldn't eat. I had problems digesting food, all of that. So one of the first things I did was I got patent and trademarked the Kidney Cafe. I went into the kitchen. I've been cooking all my life. So I went into the kitchen and I started creating kidney-friendly meals that we can be able to help other people. And because of that, I have a contract with Access Housing, the Veterans Homeless Center in Southeast, where we prepare 90 meals a day for them, kidney-friendly foods for those brothers there. And we're fortunate enough to have the Kidney Cafe garden right behind Access Housing. So we grow our own seasonings and we grow our own produce so we can be able to show them a better way of eating. So I came out with the Chef Benet seasonings from the garden right over there in Southeast, where now we're in 3 stores now, and now we are moving towards what is that? Amazon for our low sodium seasonings that I created, because it's not about the salt, it's about the flavor. And you know us folk, we still want that good mac and cheese and chicken and all of that. So
Right.
even though we try not to fry, if we do, we do it in grapeseed oil because it's more healthier,
Mm.
you know, or I prefer the air fryer. But you know, some people, they want that fried chicken. My mac and cheese is all vegan mac and cheese, and it still tastes like your grandma mac and cheese
Come on.
because we still have to
It's
provide
just
the
that
kind
funny.
of food that we want to eat. A lot of people feel like if it's healthy, it's nasty. It's not
Mm.
going to taste like anything. So I had to create and curate menus for the seasonings that will be able, that people can mimic the real taste. Now, my favorite, I'm gonna stop talking, but my favorite is catch the bait. Catch the bait. I'm a crab lover. I eat crab. I go to the wharf almost every week and get some crabs, and I get that old salt seasoning. I said, Chet, how can you make a seasoning that will be healthy, low sodium, and still have that taste? And that's my catch the bait. So I want Mark to email me so I can send you all a whole complete set of our low sodium season so you can see
Done.
what I mean. I even put it on popcorn.
Let me tell
Done.
you something. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
That's
This,
awesome.
Tanya, who's at work, who contacted us. Chet, you are a superstar. You done lit a fire. You are amazing. I mean, man, your testimony that shook me, man.
Oh yeah.
Because I think when we go through these health challenges, life challenges, challenges in general, first getting through it is we got to get through it and take care of ourselves, right?
That's right.
But when you do what you did and you make a way for other people, and then you take what's given. What's interesting is in your climb of success, you take what's there and make something of it. You know what I mean? And I think in our community, so many times we feel like we got to reinvent the wheel. We have to rebuild. You took what was there. God in a sense made you do that with the sweets, right? I don't know. I can't come up with $20,000. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't. You're focusing on the wrong thing, right? And then the same thing you did with the turning the garden into a way to not only feed people but also in a healthy way, man. You are
Love
an
that.
inspiration, and you are
I
killing
appreciate
that
that.
double nickel, man. I can't wait for the next 55, man. You're killing it, boy. I'm just glad to say, and thank you for being on a podcast. You're our first kind of like local superstar we've had on, and just a blessing, man. So thank you again.
Well, I would just say this. I would definitely say that anytime, because it's about, to me, one of my taglines is community involvement starts with us. We have to do our part. in order to change what's going on. We see the news. I watch Allison. We see the news. We see what's going on all the time. And a lot of times people say, oh, this don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. But the question is, what are we going to do about it? In Martin Luther King book, Why Can't We Wait? My paraphrase version, he said, I hear what you're saying, what the white man is doing, but what are you doing for yourself?
Come on now.
We got to be able to pull ourselves up from our own bootstraps and make it work. And I would just leave this with your audience. And that is that I don't wait around for anyone. If I have the means, I make it work for myself. I was 22 years old running 5 beauty schools straight out of Morehouse College. When I turned 26, I opened the Bennett Career Institute. And guess what? Yesterday was my 27th anniversary being a licensed accredited beauty school in Washington, D.C. I can't find not one other Black-owned accredited school. But that means, Brother Mark, I got the same financial aid, student loans, Pell Grants, everything that a Howard University will have. I'm the only one. And it's been 27 years that we started that. And I said that to say, if there's anybody out there that feel like they want to do this, they want to do that, I believe that if a man don't work, he don't eat. And I like to eat. So since I like to eat, I'm going to keep working.
And mic drop.
And we love you so much, and thank you so much, and for joining us. And I can't believe that was 10 years ago that we first met. But I'm just so happy to see you again, Chet.
And I think, Allison, I think what happened was I think you had just started over there. You know what I'm saying? And when you came in there, and Mark, no offense, it was such a beautiful, which she still is now, was such a beautiful lady. And I looked and I was like, because we used to Holly, I was like, well, where's, whatever.
Yeah.
And you was like, well, you have me. And I said to myself over the years, well, thank God I did, because I've been following her ever since. And I tell you, Mark, she has such a beautiful spirit. Oh my God. So what I said, Mark, was I told Tona, in January at the convention center, we have our CEU conference, and it's an Inspire series, and we have CeCe Winan is going to perform. I said we have to get Allison there on that microphone. We need to pay her rate, have her come out, because her spirit is just so amazing, and we have to work with those who work with us. So I just appreciate
come on now.
I'm there. We'll see you then.
Absolutely.
All right, Chet, thanks so much, my friend. Take care.
Absolutely. Have a good day. Thank you, brothers.
Ooh, man, let me tell you something. That was amazing.
I mean, and that's not it.
And shout out to everybody.
Host,
hung out
motivational speaker. So that's not it. He got his hands in a lot of different pots, and all for the goal of making community stronger.
And you could just tell he had that fire early on. 21 years old with a plan and just going for it, not to be stopped. So again, thanks for everybody who hung out with us through our challenges. So, babe, I wanted to shout out everybody. But me and Benji connected. I'll tell you about Benji. My childhood, Benji and I grew up in Springfield. Yeah. And
I know Benji.
You know Benji. So he has, talk about transformation. He's transformed his body. He's always been an athlete, but he's transformed his body. I talked to him. We're going to work on a book. Because, Chet equal being 55, mentioned being 55, we all are people of a certain age. And it is so important that we, get on our health kick and take care of ourselves. Yeah. And Benji and his wife, they're walking, they're eating right, they're cooking. And again, what does 55 plus look like these days? Here's Benji right here. Go ahead, player.
Hey.
Go ahead, player. See, he got his six-pack back. So go ahead, player. Babe, be careful. It's coming.
Okay. I see you. I'm seriously also about to join something.
Yes, so babe.
I'm about to do something too.
Isn't that so crazy? Like, again, you think about, 10 years ago or whatever, you first, it was coming. And where you were then, where you are now.
I think that was actually longer.
Yeah, I think
I think that was longer than that. I think that I feel like Tucker and I had gone over there and we were clowning around or whatever. But I just remember that they were really, educating young, stylists. So yeah, that's crazy.
And shout out to the reinvention crew who's in the house on my reinvention crew.
Come on, JG Gaither, I love that name.
And babe, so we're talking this entertainment wise, it's kind of like trending.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like when you're a celebrity, um, I think you are open to all the conversations and the criticisms and all the stuff.
You're open to people being in your marriage, though?
Oh yeah, I think so, because it's just like me. Like I was thinking, you and me, especially me. I since the radio, I talk about you and the family all the time. You do the same. So if I did something wrong, or if you did something wrong, it's like people would be so disappointed. I think that the same people that love you would be heartbroken if they're like, "What? Mark Clark is playing around on Allison?" And so I think it would kind of come out like that. It would be like people are concerned, but they'd be heartbroken, because I think, to be honest, most people, especially talking about black marriages and high profile, there's very few out there. And if that came out and it wasn't true, say
right. Like, how do you walk it back?
I don't think you have to walk it back. I don't think you have to walk it back. I think you go on and say, look, y'all, there's rumors out there saying that Allison was messing around with the security guy and the hairdresser, and that is not true. She was messing out with a gardener. Get it right. If you're gonna,
you see this landscaping? Don't ask questions. You know you didn't do it.
Right. If you come to her house and the land is flawless, she doing something.
Do it?
She doing something.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to end with an Ask Allison? You got one today?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it blew out.
But in my ghetto style, I had typed it in the messages. But I can tell it. Let's play the song and I'll tell you what it is. How about that?
All right.
Oh, we can't play the song because the thing is that.
Okay, we're really going to get it all together.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, we've never had audio issues before, so that was the first time. So that's okay. Okay. That's okay. We won't be stopped. So I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to hit you in the boob just then. You ready?
Yeah.
Ask Allison. Here it is. I don't know if you can hear it, but. Mm-hmm.
I got the whole song. And it fades down.
And fade. Dear Ask Allison, I've messed up and I need your help. My male friend at work and I are very close.
Okay, all right.
Over the last 10 years, he's not only are we close, he has been there for me and has become close to my kids and my husband.
Okay.
At this year's summer cookout, after a few drinks and I don't know what got into me, I kissed him full on the mouth and even put his hand on my breast.
Okay.
I could tell he was embarrassed by it, and he's been weird at work the last few days.
As he should.
And I want to know, what should I do?
Did you say that she was drunk?
She said she had a few drinks, yes.
So the real thing came out.
Well, is that what it is? What do you say, Allison?
Oh, what's going on now? Girl, you done messed up. You can't go back to the office. You lost together. A friend. He's going to tell your husband.
Babe, are you serious? You think he would do all that? When do you do that? He's her friend.
But he's the husband's friend too now.
Yeah, you ain't going to tell. He ain't. Let me just say,
okay,
as a man,
here's what you do.
He ain't got to worry about that.
Here's what you do. You just go to him and be like, I'm sorry. I don't know what was going on. Or you say, I have feelings, because clearly she's got the feelings.
Baby, do not say, this is bad advice.
No, it's not. Listen, I haven't stopped yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So you say, I had this moment of weakness, temporarily, whatever happened. I apologize. I know I made it, whatever. It's never going to happen again. And don't look at me. I won't look at you.
Well, there it is. The Ask Allison advice. Let's see. Are people responding?
I just feel like you got to just come clean. You can't ignore it like it never happened.
Benji says alcohol is a truth serum.
Right. You clearly, I'd have been like, it was a moment of weakness. I don't know what got into me. Yeah, girl, you done messed up. Oh, you are in trouble now.
You know you done messed up, right?
Yeah, okay. And he's weird around her too. Yeah, you just gotta be, and he can get it out, and then you guys can just move on.
It'll be okay.
But it's not. It's never going to be the same.
Babe,
again.
they're friends. It should be
No,
okay.
it's not. No, it's not.
Wow.
I have never kissed a male friend.
This is what I'll say.
I have never kissed a male friend and expected it to be okay. Or never kissed a male friend, period. And if I did, I would never expect it to be okay. Yeah. So,
Okay,
no.
now, and before we wrap up, babe.
Okay.
So it's been on for 41 minutes, and thanks,
Yeah.
guys, for hanging out,
Thank you.
staying with us.
We need to do some testing.
And if you're
someday.
watching this at a future date, because, you know, it's on all the platforms, we will fix it by next Wednesday. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, now, this segment, babe, and I'll have a sound to go with it. This segment is called in honor of Biggie. You remember, if you don't know, now you know. So you know, babe, I am...
It was a word that came after that we don't like to say.
And so, you know, I don't even call it a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
I am someone who believes that there's always another part of the story that they probably are hiding from us. And so today...
Which happens to be the definition of a conspiracy theory.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is it's not even conspiracy because it's true. Okay. So Judge Joe Brown, who we will have on this show live, because one of the reasons is because your family's from Tennessee, and he's very, you know, he's from Tennessee.
I've
from the same area.
interviewed him a couple of times. I don't. Do we want to? Well, that's one way to get our podcast into the.
There you go. And so shout out to I Never Know TV. So many maintained that there was more to King's, you know, assassination than we've talked about. I believe that. Right. And so in a recent episode of I Never Knew TV series, he broke it down. Now many don't know he was on the James Earl Ray case. As far as the judge, that they ruled that it was not the weapon used in the assassination. Yeah. And people don't know that.
This came out like Dexter King came out and said that he didn't have... I mean, it's almost like this is so huge. I don't think people want to even...
It's too big.
It's too big. It's like UFOs. Like, what happened? Who really was behind this? It's too big.
Okay, so if you don't know, now you know. We'll use it to wrap up the show. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out.
Wait a minute. What was it? You didn't finish the
I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
As we leading out.
Yeah, full stop.
Full stop. I don't know who that is, but that is true. Okay, is that Troy? It sounds like something to somebody. Okay, so babe, I was gonna just play it. It's 4 minutes, so and then we go and just play it and we're out. Or you want to play it and then wrap up at the end? Which one?
It's 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
This is Judge Joe Brown talking about King.
Mm-hmm. About the assassination.
This is, let's just say, on the 60th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech.
There we go. Look at you. She's good, man. Let me tell you something. My wife is a bad girl. She's a bad girl.
So probably coming after that. And just briefly, let's play it. Let's say goodbye. Let's play it. But I remember, I think it must have been the 50th anniversary, being out there and seeing like the titans like Julian Bond and like, you know, Andrew Young and these caliber freedom fighters, Al Sharpton and all that. And so, but it was my cousins from South Carolina, pretty much South Carolina. And they were my older cousins, and they were saying that when people came to DC, like, you know, they packed these lunches, good fried chicken, and because they were going to be on these buses coming up. And, you know, it was dangerous sometimes to stop. So they had all of this. But the feeling of community and the joy on those buses on that hot August day back in 1963, and to think it's like 60 years and kind of the same things we're dealing with now, but the progress that's been made and all of that. But you got to say those men and women, they put their bodies on the line.
They did.
You know, thinking about John Lewis and Fannie Lou Hamer and people like that, they put their bodies on the line for the freedoms that we enjoy today. And I, for one, will be damned if our history is erased, like some of these politicians want to do, and you know, some of these curriculum, what they want to do. We need to remember that history. So shout out to Judge Joe Brown for bringing this part of it up. But as we recognize the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. That was good, babe. That was good.
Yeah.
They do it. Like James Earl Ray didn't shoot King. The FBI solicited the shooters, provided the murder weapon and the ammunition, which is very unique, recruited the shooters from probably Quantico Marine Sniper School, which is right next to the FBI Academy up there. They shot King from the firehouse, two-man team, not the flop house or the bushes. The Memphis Police Department's Homicide Bureau was adamant that Ray was not the gunman. Some reason the prosecutors, which have a long history of being crooked in the area, insisted he was. Anyway, he never confessed, and interestingly enough, I got approached some years afterwards so they could get the information from somebody that set up an algorithm for a computer program. And what the program does is from stage 0 to 34, from bright red to dark green, bright green, it has a scale where it's not a lie detector test. It analyzes people's tones of voice, language, and an animation of their body language to arrive at what they're saying. The theory is that when we talk, only 15% of what we're saying has to do with the words. 35% consist of the tone and 50% the body language. So they were analyzing what bin Laden actually meant, what Putin was meaning, still means. And there was a group of military officers that were concerned about their oath to uphold the Constitution and what was happening in Guantanamo. So they became concerned. So what they did was they wanted to test this machine out by getting a tape of what they assumed was an outright liar, James Earl Ray. So they got 6 hours of tape from his last interview, and they were astonished where he came all the way across bright green on everything except 2 occasions, which was completely neutral, and the questions were a version of, if you didn't do it, do you have any idea who did? And he said, I'm not sure. And those were the only 2 out of 6 hours worth of questions on that tape that he did not come across being truthful. So they asked the person that invented the algorithm, a woman, to come talk to me.
Well, it's so interesting, right? So not only was it not the weapon, then information evaded. So, and again, it is Troy Johnson. It was Troy. That's when you know somebody, right? That's my brother right there.
Hey, Troy.
And then I saw Alan Merritt today too, babe. Alan came to my hit this morning in Baltimore.
Okay.
And it was great to see Alan because he says,
oh, hey, Alan.
Alan, I was just saying as we wrap things up and just talk about, we've always had this amazing support from our community, right? Mm-hmm. And so Alan Merritt is a friend. And when the Big Fat Morning Show first started, which was at 2000, now 23 years ago, Alan built a website for the Big Fat Morning Show for free. Alan also, this is the first time we met, he also filmed our wedding for free. Mm-hmm. just because. Yeah. Just because he was supporting us and whatever. So it was great seeing him today.
Where is that wedding tape anyway?
I know.
Damn it. Where is the wedding tape?
Where is the tape? It might be where the rest of those tapes are. Okay, babe. As you wrap things up, because you got to get ready to go to work. Oh, wait a minute. I do too. Parting shots on our podcast.
Well, again, thank you for sticking with us through our many technical issues. We're really just, for me, it's like there's so many voices out there. It's hard to be like, how do we jump into that? But here's the bottom line is that, family is our jam. We always talk about that.
Check.
Family is our jam. This marriage journey has been just one that is a true partnership. And so there's a lot to impart with that, want to talk about those kinds of things. We care deeply about just what's going on in society, in our community. And so we have a lot to say. So I'm really hoping that we can finally get on this thing on a regular basis.
Yes.
Get some sort of a format so that we can present to you the best podcast that we can offer, because sometimes it just feels, I gotta be honest, sometimes it feels a little hopeless, like you can watch something and people are talking about nothing, what we like to call booty chatter.
Yes.
Okay, and just like clickbait, and you go in and it's not what it is or whatever. And I get it, that's controversial, salacious, it's fun and all this. It's provocative. So I'm hoping that there is a space for us, that our people can find us and we can have a dialogue, because I feel like that's just really important. I feel like we have a lot to say. Um, and so do you. And so I want to talk. I want to exchange ideas. I want the connection. Yeah, moving forward. So I hope that we can stick with it this time.
Shout out to Kevin. Kevin from Columbia. Not Columbia, Maryland either. Columbia.
Oh,
all
the
way.
country?
Yes,
Oh,
Kevin's
what?
over there. Kevin, great hearing from you. I know. Yeah. So I'm back at it. So,
Hello.
and again, have a great evening and appreciate everybody. And make sure you check out Allison in the morning on Fox. I'm sorry, on
We used to be on Fox 5.
Yep, on WUSA 9.
Yeah.
In DC, and I'm
in
on
DC.
Fox 45.
I was going to give you your
Oh,
shout
okay.
out.
And I'm you go ahead.
And make sure that you
Uh-huh.
check out my husband, Mark Clark, on Fox 45 in Baltimore as the feature reporter in the morning, and also the host of Good Morning Baltimore. That's not the name of the show.
All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. See you soon.